What's going on, boys? How you doing, Andrew? Just wait a couple minutes for everyone to get in here, and we'll start it up. I think 2 minutes is enough. We'll wait. All right, guys. I guess Andrew's in here. What's up, Ricky? How you doing? Just get right into it. I'm sure people will be joining anyways. So overall SPY, even intraday. What's up, Tonka? How you doing? Push a P. Overall SPY, we opened up, we ripped to high of day, and then we closed near low of day. Very bearish action. What's up, Andrew? Overall picture, 5 minute chart. I mean, this was an easy dump. All our puts are going nice, and we're just kind of chilling and letting our plays play out. There's no reason to overtrade. There's no reason to get bullish. What's up, Ginger? How you doing? There's no reason at all to be bullish right now, in my opinion. I mean, people can talk, they can see like little things on 5, 15 minute charts, but if you zoom out like we've been telling you to do for a long time, weekly charts completely down, monthly charts, you got the MACD crossing over, you got a bunch of stuff going on here. So you got the MACD crossing down on SPY, got the stochastics are just starting to curl down, guys. Just now starting to curl down. Back here in April, or the COVID crash 2020, you see how low they got. You see back in 2018 when they were raising rates, how low they got. Back here in the financial crisis of 2008, look how low they got. And right now, the kind of selling, this is the .com crash here as well. Stochastics way down here. So you guys can kind of see we're in for a longer term of volatility. Unless Jay Powell saves us this Wednesday. What's up, Dhruv? Unless Jay Powell just says screw the rates, screw the debt, screw the balance sheet, we're still going to do quantitative easing and we're going to help the market out. I believe that's the only way that prevents us. But if he doesn't do that, I do think we're in for a longer term of consolidation. It's going to be a very tough market this year, in my opinion. And let's see where it goes. We'll trade the ups, we'll trade the downs. You know what we do in my stock life. But right now, especially in a bear market, it's better to trade less and only trade the A plus setups, in my opinion. Scalps are harder. Put premiums are very high. Call premiums are very high because the VIX is elevated. And it's just sometimes the less trades you take, the better. I know today was kind of a slow day for our first day of trial members, but trust me, it's better to take less good trades than it is. It's better to sit cash than be losing money. Trust me. What's up, Turkey? How you doing? Exactly, Turkey. So Turkey's pointing it out. We can go under 400, and this is still a healthy pullback on the longer term. If you're looking at 5 minute charts, obviously 400 seems like a crazy man's game, but if you look at the weekly, if you look at the monthly, everything just kind of shows me that we're in for a long-term consolidation unless something drastic happens. We're below the 50-day on the weekly. 200-day is not all the way down till 340. I'm not saying we will get there. We could definitely get there. Even on the monthly, I mean, we're just now getting to the 21-day moving averages at 406 on SPY. So even that would be perfectly healthy pullback. And let's see what happens just day by day right now. We have to see what the Fed says on Wednesday. It's possibly the most important meeting this Wednesday for the markets. Like I can remember. It could cause a recession. It could cause the market to rip. I don't know what they're going to do. They're kind of screwed either way. If they don't do it now, they're going to push a farther, harder recession in the future. But they might just do that. I don't know if Jay Powell wants to be known as the next Alan Greenspan. Alan Greenspan was the Fed chair in 2008 when he caused the financial crisis, by the way, guys. So QQQ, same boat as SPY. We're just sitting at the invasion lows. This is when Russia invaded Ukraine right here. 318.26. Today we actually closed below the invasion lows on QQQ. The death cross happened back here. We pointed it out. That's why there's a big arrow here. SPY's death cross actually just happened today, guys. So I'm going to put a little arrow there just so you guys remember. If you don't know what a death cross is, you see that light blue line and the dark blue line. The light blue line is the 50-day moving average. The dark blue line is the 200-day moving average. So basically moving averages just show how the index should be moving with the last 200 days as the average. And then the other one is 50-day average of how it's moving. And when the 50-day crosses under the 200-day, that means the last 50 days is curling down while the 200-day is still curling up. But when it crosses down, that's called a death cross, and that shows a downtrend in stocks, which obviously you've been getting since January. So it's a thing to keep notice of. XLF is the only one that hasn't death crossed. I've been looking over this weekend. XLF, the 50-day is still on top. So if we get another couple weeks of consolidation or downtrend on XLF, I think the 50-day will come and cross this one as well. Right now, so just from that chart alone, XLF tells me it's the strongest. But again, look at this big dump off. We lost the previous lows. We lost the invasion lows already. And it just looks like a dead cat bounce to me right now where we're going to H over again. It looks very much like the RCL chart kind of. So keep an eye out for XLF to continue its downtrend and see if we get that death cross in here as well, because we've gotten into every other index. IWM got the death cross first, and you guys seen how that's been playing out. Just kind of basing down here. I will not get bullish on IWM until we get over this 209.55-ish level or 210 level. It's a previous support for almost a year now. Under 188, we're going a lot further down. Over 209.55, we can get bullish again. But until one of those numbers clicks, we're just going to be chop, and I favor the downside because every pop is getting lower. You guys see this big bounce here? Set a low. We had the same low on the invasion day as we did January 28th. But the bounce was lower than the previous bounce. We came back down, higher low, but lower high. So we were just in an equilibrium for a while. Today we broke that last bounce point, so now IWM probably goes and tests this 188 again. So we'll just wait for that there. VIX again, just strong. It's just holding up. It's just higher and higher and higher. Doesn't look like it wants to pull back at all. The scary thing about this VIX, and the reason I'm saying it's a longer correction, usually the VIX just completely spikes in a panic. People panic, and then it just sells off. That's what it's always been doing. Big spike, panic, right? You can go all the way back. Big spike, straight down. Big spike, straight down. All the time, VIX, just when people panic, they buy puts, and then when the panic goes away, the market melts up again. But this time, this is a COVID crash, by the way. Big spike, panic, and then sell off. And if you go back here, let's see if I can find it. 2008 is right here. So this is what I want to show you on 2008. You see how it's not really a big spike? It just slowly goes up, comes down a little bit for a little dead cat bounce, slowly goes up, and it just finally peaks. And then when it pulls back, it just sets a higher low. When it sets that higher low, it's time to get short again, and then it just kind of goes up again. Never reaches the previous high, but then just kind of stays elevated for a long time. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. It's very similar to the 2008 crisis. Instead of just panic buying puts and then the VIX coming back down, right now, what's happening is they're just slowly setting higher lows, higher lows. Jesus, I went back far. Hang on 1 second. Are we even getting close to there? All right, right here. So that's kind of what's happening right now. We had that big spike. We had a higher low set, and now we're just kind of grinding up. Do we get past this high and go even higher? It's definitely possible. But for right now, the VIX is elevated, and just expect volatility. Don't expect the market just to start ripping again, and I don't think all-time highs are coming for a while. BTC actually still looks healthier than the market. It's been setting higher lows ever since that first low. If you noticed, Jan 24th was the first low. February 24th was the invasion, which is a higher low. And then recently we set an even higher low. Whereas SPY, we set a low on January 24th. We broke that low with the invasion on February 24th. And then we set a higher low here, but now we're going to retest that higher low. So let's see if we go back and visit these February 24th. QQQ has already taken them out. XLF has already taken them out, and IWM looks like it's headed right back down there. So keep an eye on that. Bitcoin is stronger than the market for now. UPS, this is a longer term play, guys. I know I get a lot of messages about this play, so I just wanted to go over it again. Again, we played this on the weekly chart, guys. The weekly resistance held up. We dumped below, and we were sitting right on top of the 50-day moving average. Last week, it looked like they were going to break the 50-day moving average. They saved it right on Friday and closed it above. This week, if we close below 203, these puts are going to pay. They're going to, well, chart-wise, it's almost ideal. We need to close under 203 this week. And this is not really a bullish chart, in my opinion. It just looks like a big dump-off, and now we're kind of bear flagging here. Let's see if we break today's lows. If we break today's lows tomorrow or day after this week, I think under 203 this week, UPS will be a big payer for us. Not worried at all. I mean, if the overall market stays weak, there's no way none of these stocks run. Maybe here and there like a meme stock or something, but these big stocks, they're not going to run unless market participates. DB, I love shorting this name. It is a bank with a lot of exposure to Russia. Feel like they're a little bit behind the curve as far as Russia goes because they still haven't sold off all their Russian assets like every other bank has. And you guys seen the other banks get wrecked. I'm looking for the same kind of pattern here. Big gap down, oversold bounce, and then right back to the low of the first day. So that's exactly what I see happening here. Big dump off, big consolidation gap up, and now let's see if we can go fill that gap all the way to 1080, which would put our puts very close to in the money, and I think they'll be up quite a bit. So let's see tomorrow if we get a gap down on DB, which I expect. TSM, very good semiconductor company. I want equity in this actually after this whole correction is done, but we have broken out of this huge weekly base that we had on TSM, and it just looks like it's aging over. We got all the noise from China attacking Taiwan adding to the downside on this one. Those $100 puts are in the money if you held them from last week, and it just looks like lower is coming. Big dump off, bear flag, big dump off, bear flag, and if we lose these lows of 99.06, under 99.06 we probably go a lot further down, so I'm not too worried about that one. Actually, I took profit in that one, so I'm looking for a re-entry actually. BNS, this is a Canadian bank. I know you guys probably on FinTwit, you probably never see people shorting Canadian banks. I've personally never shorted Canadian banks, but I wanted to give it a shot. There's a couple of reasons. This chart looks set up like it's almost like a triple top, and it looks like it cannot hold above the 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average for the last 4 days has been resistance. It's gone over it and then closed underneath it. Gone over, closed underneath, gone over, closed underneath, gone over, closed underneath. So BNS daily, the weekly, everything looks set up for a big dump. Obviously, banks move slower, so make sure you give yourself time. You got the weekly MACD crossing down as well. And if we get any type of follow through, I will be looking around $65 price target on these puts. And another reason I'm in BNS is this TD Bank here. If you guys know anything about TD Bank and BNS, they're the main banks in Canada, I believe. And look at the dump off we got from all-time highs on TD. So why is BNS still hanging around all-time highs here? That's my question. So let's see if BNS gets some more follow through. Those puts are already green. If you guys want to take them off, it's a little bit more risky play. Lucid, we called out on Friday. We called out the $20 puts, I believe. Turkey jumped in with me. We had this huge down move, beautiful bear flag, and it broke right at open. We sold those puts around almost 100%. I think we got them at 29 cents. I was selling them at 45. So about 50%, if my math is right. Around 50% actually this morning. 50% over the weekend is great. Like, you can't take equity and expect 50% over 3 days, you know what I mean? So 50% got it, took it, wait for a bounce, get back in. That's all I'm planning to do. I'm not going to be greedy, especially in this market. BA puts also paid very nicely. I think we took them around 3 something and sold them for like 440 something today. Again, just quick profits. I have enough shorts on. I have lots of puts and lots of names, so I don't want to get too overextended. But this chart is absolutely beautiful. The weekly is breaking down after a year in a range. We finally broke below the channel and we stayed below the channel. It keeps trying to get back inside that channel. Even with good news, every time it gets in that channel, closes below, in the channel, closes below, in the channel, closes below, and again, close below. Even below Friday's lows, which is very, very bearish. So I think BA comes down and retests at least 167. If you're still in the puts, you'll probably get paid, in my opinion. SPLK, I called it out last Thursday. Beautiful looking bear flag. I posted this chart maybe 10 times last week. Very, very obvious. Big dump and then just kind of consolidated. Called it out Thursday here. I said puts would be great to the bottom of the channel, and boy, did we get a move. So on Friday, straight down from 127 all the way to 122. Today we went from 122 all the way to 109. So huge, huge. Those puts probably would have paid 500, 600%, especially with a 2-day move. And we broke below the bottom bear flag. So there's more to come on this SPLK. And if you're in the puts or if you took the short, there's a big drop that's possible on SPLK. We can go all the way down to 95 very, very easily on SPLK. And if we get a bounce back to this back test of this bear flag and fail, I'll probably get short this one as well. RCL is one I sent on the trade of the week. If you guys aren't reading the newsletter, I highly suggest it. It's not just a bunch of names I put together. I actually look around a lot. And RCL. So first of all, there's COVID news coming out of China. Chart looks weak. I mean, this was a big gap down, oversold bounce, came right back down, tested the lows, broke them, and now we're just kind of Hing over, I think. And just a little bear flag here of consolidation. If you guys open up smaller time frames, like a 4-hour, you can see what I mean here. So you just see a little bear flag here. And guys, you have to understand, like I've gone over this on my charts before, puts and calls are different plays, guys. When you buy a call, you expect it to go up right away. If it doesn't go up right away, you might be wrong. But puts are different. Puts, even if you're red like 50% one day, it only takes that one day, that one sell off, and your puts will go to like 500%. So that's why sometimes you have to sit through a little bit of pain to see the real rewards of puts. But other than that, just make sure if you're trading calls, you're trading them differently than puts. And once you're in one mindset, it's hard to switch back and forth. Trust me, I've been there, I've done that. And RCL, I do expect it to break this bear flag. If we get below 67.29 tomorrow, I do believe they'll be followed through. First target 64, then 61, and then it can absolutely collapse down. So let's see if we get more COVID news overnight. We can get a collapse on this RCL and get paid on the 2 layers. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed your first day. I know it was kind of slow today. We didn't take much trades, but that's just the market we're in. We're not going to force trades. We're about profit. We're not about showing off how we trade, right?